Nope.
Hello. I printed off some things for you.
So,
Oh, just gonna stand here and speak.
Judge, where does he stand to speak? Just right there.
Wherever.
there's fine. Yeah, you're
Okay.
good there.
So,
Oh, just take this. I was handing it to Gary. He's not here.
yeah. So, my name is JT Connor, and I'm speaking on behalf of Connor Industries today. Well, we're going to be opening a gravel pit over there on the Lazy J Ranch, and that's right there near County Road B. And I've spoken to the county a few times about the maintenance of the road, and as the road sits, I believe that the road is dangerous and a hazard to the members of the community. I have some pictures here. There's specifically 3 hills that I'm really concerned about once trucks start coming through. I'm worried that there's not enough room for people to get by. I'm also concerned about the speeds that people go on this county road and the fact that the maintenance is poor, and so it's real board wash. So you don't have very good control of your vehicle. I was in my 3/4 ton and I had to put it in 4-wheel drive just to get up the hills going 10 miles an hour. And so if you look at this first picture I gave you, this is right there by the gravel pit. I think that road needs to be graded down so it's not such a blind spot, because it kind of peaks and there's really no reason, because on the other side it goes straight back down again. And if you'll go over to the next picture, this is about half a mile further down the road. This road becomes more narrow at the top and it peaks for no reason, and it curves as well. I think that this one is probably the second most dangerous one, and there's really no reason for it to be there. You could grade it out pretty easily. I think that's necessary as well. And then on this next picture, if you looked on the right side, you can see the right side of the county road is washing out. That little trench there is probably about 1.5 to 2 foot deep, and that's part of the county road. And if another truck came by, there's not enough room for 2 of them to get by each other without one going in this hole. So I'm concerned about that as well. And on the next picture, this hill is probably the greatest woe of it all, because it's actually a very steep hill. And if you look at the next picture, you can see the washboarding of it. And this is the road that I have to be in 4-wheel drive in my personal truck just to make it up. If you look at that final picture, you'll see that a DJ well service truck started going up it, couldn't make it, started sliding backwards, and started digging out the road because it couldn't make it up it. And they had to hook on another truck just to pull it up the road. And so this road's way too steep. It needs to be graded down, plus it needs better material on it, because the material on it is just too sandy and the tires start spinning and it just exacerbates the problem. And so I'd really appreciate some help. County multiple times, and not much has happened. And this past time, I mean, today there's a water truck and a blade, but that's not going to fix it. It's going to need material brought in and some actual work done to the road. And on top of that, I'd also like to discuss, so my family has been here for 3 generations. We're going on the 4th generation, so we're heavily involved in the community, and we know everyone in the community. That being said, I'm a little upset with a member of the county. I've heard him say some negative comments about our family and our operation. He actually said that he doesn't think their operation is going to work out, and it's a joke. And we take that pretty seriously. We're not going to tolerate that kind of slander, because I mean, the community officials work for us and they work for the community. They're not freelancers, and so they need to be official. And so I'd appreciate if Dwayne wouldn't speak poorly about our operations or our family, and if y'all would please address that as well. That's all I have to speak about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, JT, you do understand that we can't take any action or do any discussion on that today, but we will look into that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've heard from 4 other people, some that work for the county and some that don't, that's spoken to me. I mean, people I haven't known, but they know our family, and I do
Okay.
believe that's unprofessional.
All right, we'll look into the roads as well as your other issues, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, item 7 is to consider, discuss, approve any and all items necessary or pertaining to the county jail. Okay, we'll be able to discuss on that. Monica?
My count today, 44 males and 7 females.
Somebody not muted?
It's Gary.
Oh. Everything else going okay at the jail as far as you know? Okay. Can you go ahead and mute him? Russell? Okay. All right, item 8, consider, discuss, approving any and all items necessary pertaining to the county courthouse. Ben, do you have an update from Carl?
Yes, everything's going pretty good here in the courthouse with everything they're doing. And I think they're probably a little ahead of schedule, so no problems there. But we also, Thursday evening, we had the main sewer line stop up coming out of the courthouse, and that's turned into quite an issue. We got it open, it's draining, but it's an old clay pipe, clay tile pipe, and I'm thinking it's starting to collapse. And so we got Scotco's coming later this week with a camera and see if we can locate it and see what's going on in it. But the bigger problem is we're starting to think that maybe the jail was built on top of it and it wasn't routed around the jail. So repairing it's not an option, if that's true. But we'll find out. We'll get the camera in it.
Okay.
So.
And they're coming this week or?
This week.
Okay.
Later this week.
Okay.
Most likely Friday, because we've got to have the city here as well to suck out the manholes so we get the camera in it.
Okay.
So we got to coordinate both of them together. Other than, I think that's all we got on the courthouse.
Okay. Yeah. I think Carl and them are doing a pretty good job.
They're doing a real good job.
Yeah, so.
Real cordial and
Haven't
cleaning
heard
up
too
the
many
mess.
complaints.
Yep.
So, that's
They're
good.
doing real good.
Okay, item 9 is our yearly update from Purdue, Brandon Fielders, Colin, and Mott. And we have Bill Pinkham and Brent Sherritt here from the law firm.
I do better with pictures, so I brought handouts. I brought 10 copies, so there should be.
Yes.
Everybody got one?
I got 2. I'll leave one for Gary. Gary, I'm leaving one for you,
He'll be present when he gets back.
right?
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Bill Pinkham. I'm a partner with Purdue, Brandon Fielder, Collins, and Mott. With the makeup of the Commissioners Court, we'd like to regularly give updates and introduce ourselves to the folks that may not be aware of what work we do for the county. On the first page there, you'll see the Amarillo team for Purdue, Brandon. Again, I'm Bill Pinkham. I'm the lead attorney for Hutchinson County and all the taxing entities within Hutchinson County. Brent Sherritt is our Senior Executive Director of Client Services. He is the longest serving employee of Purdue, Brandon. He's been here 37 years? 41. And he started when he was 2. So I enjoy working with Brent, and he's out and about. You'll see him at conferences. You'll see some of us at conferences. And then my 3 other partners in the Amarillo office are there at the bottom. Give you a little history about our firm. Our firm was founded in Amarillo in 1970. Howard Purdue and Larry Brandon saw an opportunity to help historically underserved local governments in the Texas Panhandle and West Texas. They both started at the city attorney's office in Amarillo, and back then all the property tax collections were done in-house. Well, they saw a need for more effective collection services, so they started a law firm in 1970 in Amarillo. And from that, we've expanded to 13 offices across the state, and we have a national presence now. So we're very proud that it all got kicked off here in the Texas Panhandle. Our practice is solely focused on collection of government receivables. I'm going to talk about the property tax collection, and Brent's going to talk about the fines and fees collection. We represent more than 2,000 governmental clients, and our current portfolio is in excess of $2.5 billion. We have a statewide presence, 14 primary locations, 350 team members, 55 attorneys, and as I said, a nationwide resources, but we have a local commitment as well. Some of the advantages that Purdue Brandon provides is our tax tracker software, account association and ownership research, proven history. We have an automated collection process, and 51 years of what we pride ourselves as premier customer service. Again, premier customer service, we work hand in hand with Carrie in her office to make sure that the property taxes are being collected as efficiently as possible. We respond to the taxpayers as quickly as possible, account management, and we consolidate accounts from property owners if they owe different jurisdictions. Customizable letters, calls, reports, and all this leads to increased revenue to the county. That's the ultimate goal. Again, we come up with a strategic litigation plan. We work with Carrie's office to make sure that all her requirements are met. We do title research, bankruptcy representation, automated document generation, and we try to keep it as paperless as possible this day and age. Just a brief overview of the tax calendar. A tax lien automatically attaches on January 1st of any given year for the property within the county, with a delinquency date of February 1st of the following year. Penalty and interest begin to accrue on February 1st. And the notice of collection penalty goes out in May. That's basically, we get this turnover in July 1st of any given year, and the taxpayer gets a notice in May that it's getting ready to get turned over. And we are paid through a statutory collection fee. All of our services are completely cost neutral to the county. On the next page, I put this in here to show you how good of a job your tax collector, Carrie, is doing for you. This is just a snapshot, but this is typical of any given year for Hutchinson County. Carrie collects 98% of the tax roll before it's turned over to us. And I think that's that just shows an outstanding job that her and her staff do for the county. We sure like for her to turn over more, but she's doing too good of a job. And just on the next page, some brief statistics. These are the past 4 years of collections. We've collected 77% of your base tax roll for the 2016 tax year, 68% for the 2017 tax year, 52% for the 2018 tax year, and 35% for the 2019 tax year. Obviously, 2019 tax year gets turned over to us last year with COVID. Obviously, you know, there's little peculiar circumstances that we've had to deal with as far as property tax collection goes. But obviously, the longer we've had to collect, the better the collection rate is. So I have every confidence that those rates are going to go nowhere but up. So that's all I have on the ad valorem tax portion of it. Brent Sherrod is going to give a brief presentation on the fines and fees. If you have any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Yep.
Did y'all have any questions on Bill's presentation?
No.
He kind of rushed through it a little bit, but I'm gonna emphasize the fact that everything that we do or show that we do our services are free. We only get paid if we collect. That's how we get paid. So the things that Carrie does and her office does provide us with all the assistance that we can. She gives us the information that we need to proceed. And we certainly appreciate all the work that you and your office does. It's very, very helpful. You work very hard as an indicator of how many tax payments you collect before you turn it over to us. So y'all should be very proud of her office and what she does for the county. And now I want to talk about the fine and fees that come out of JP Court. The same things that I said about Carrie in her office. She's very proud of the board in her office and Yachty in her office. They work very close with our offices, giving us the information in a timely manner so we can work on it. And fines and fees, gentlemen, are speeding tickets, et cetera, that people get that exceed the limits are turned over to the JP Court. And about 80 to 85% of those people pay on time. So the people that don't pay on time, the law provides for your court to turn those over to a collection agency, which we've been doing. They have to wait at least 61 days plus, what is it, 15 days? What is your typical, how long do you give your people time to appear in court?
10 days.
10 days, so 71 days to pay. Let's just say 3 months. They have 3 months to contact the court and make arrangements, either pay the ticket or make arrangements to pay or tell them what the circumstances are. And her court works very hard to work with people that have extenuating circumstances that they can't pay. She offers all kinds of programs that they can take advantage of if there is a hardship or there is a problem, you know. So she's already sent out letters. She's contacted people, letting them know that they have this ticket, and she's done everything she possibly can. And at that point, then she turns it over to us to take over. What we do from the date that we get them is we start doing our address research. We scrub all the accounts to make sure that the current addresses are good. As you all may or may not know, sometimes when people move, they think that these obligations that they have, the ticket not going to follow. Well, they are, because once again, our services are free to you. We only get paid if we collect. And so we do extensive research, address correction. We send out letters, at least 2 letters to the individuals. The first letter is a nice letter where we say, you know, this could be an oversight, blah, blah, blah. And then the second letter, we're allowed to be a little stronger. Hey, you need to pay, we're going to show up at your door. Not really. I just wanted to make sure. We don't really go that far. We just say, you know, you've had this due, this is the amount that you owe, and, you know, it needs to be taken care of. And then we also are involved in we did a warrant roundup for you. Yes, it's a statewide warrant roundup where we send them a letter and state that, and it's done all over the state where it says that a lien can be put on you, you know, on your driver's license, et cetera, if you don't pay, or, you know, there could be some other things happen if you don't pay. And she allows us to do that, to collect on the fines and fees. I say all that to say again that you should be very happy with the way she runs her office. Her secretary, they work very hard getting the information to us in a timely manner. They do everything possible to see that the ticket is resolved before it's turned over to us. And our fines and our services, that fee is attached to the ticket. Our feeling is that if you have 90 days to take care of an obligation, you have not contacted the court, you've not done anything, then when you attach our 30% fee, which is statutory, by the way, it's not negotiable, it's statutory, that 30% you have passed the time where you need to pay an additional fee for the work that we're doing to locate these people. That's basically our procedure. And I just want to give you some statistics to back up how hard these officers are working. In Judge Ford's office, for instance, in this business, if you collect 35%, if we collect 35% of the tickets that are turned over to us, you're doing a very good job. With her court and her secretary and the cooperation we get, she's currently at 60% collecting the stuff that's turned over to us. I'll back that up about the things that we do. Since we've had the privilege of working for the county in the collections, we've made over 3,000 phone contacts. We've corrected address correction to 1,600 accounts. We've sent over 11,000 letters, and all of that helps with them to get their 60% collection percentage, and we couldn't have done that without their cooperation. And in Judge Rodriguez's court, we have made over 5,800 phone contacts. We've address corrections on over 3,600 accounts. We've sent over 20,000 letters, and her collection percentage is 60% also. So I say all that to let you know that we certainly appreciate the opportunity to work for you. It's been a good relationship. We want to continue the relationship. And anytime that y'all have any questions on what we do, we're free to come over and talk to you. And I want to let you know how important it is that we have a relationship that we have with your court. And we thank you very much for the hard work that you do in your court. So with that being said,
The last page is our firm motto: when experience, reputation, and performance matter. Those are underlying core values, and we adhere to those. We take it very seriously. And to underscore what Brent said, it is an honor to be able to work for you guys, and we appreciate it. My contact information is on that last page. If you ever have any questions or if we can do anything for the county, please let us know.
does anybody have any questions? As with the fine and fees, with taxes, we send letters, we make phone calls, we can file lawsuits. In taxes, we can bring the property in for tax, we can bring for sale in courthouse step. We can't do that with fine and fees, but we can do that taxes. And everything that we do to bring to that point, we bear all the costs, and Carrie does everything that she possibly can before it gets to that stage. So we really appreciate your support. I want to continue doing business with you, and anytime you have any questions, we're available. So, do anybody have any questions about anything at all?
No.
Thank you all very much for your time.
Thank you.
Everybody have a good week. Have a good
Thank you,
night.
guys. Thank you.
y'all.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you. Good to see y'all.
Good to see you. Are you going to Lubbock? Judge, for that?
Yes,
For that orientation?
I RSVP. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes. I will see y'all in a couple weeks.
Thank you, Judge.
So thank
Be
you
safe.
to Purdue,
Thank you.
and they do an excellent job of collecting for us, that, from the JP point of view.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, item 10 is to consider and approve the racial profiling report from criminal investigator Tim Glass. So this is Tim's report that he submitted, and this is just required by law. He does the report and has to submit it to the Commissioner's Court. So just need a motion for approval.
I move to approve Tim Glass's report for the criminal investigation.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay. All right, item 11, we're going to table that item. That Laura over at the sheriff's office called me and asked me to put that on, but then she didn't end up getting a contract back from Benchmark. She thought she would, and she didn't end up getting it. So we're going to table that and move it to the next meeting. So can I have a motion to table that?
Motion to table the purchase of the copier for the jail.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, thanks. All right, item 12 is to consider and or approve purchasing a new mowing tractor through buy board for road and bridge. Dwayne? Got some info for us? I'll pass. You're going first. You have any more? One more. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay, this is a mowing tractor that I budgeted to replace. Currently, the tractor we're replacing is a 1983 model. It's a 4450, and the last cutting last year, we thrashed the motor in it. So it does have a bad engine in it, and I mean, they've been trying to find us this tractor for several months. They finally found one, and the price is $139, $287.61. They're going to allow us $10,000 for the tractor with the blue engine, which brings the price to $129, $287.61. And this is that's the last old mowing tractor we have. All the rest of them have been replaced in the last 10 years.
Okay. Any questions?
Tell us why 6155, that's about 155 horse tractor.
54, yes, sir.
Why do we run such big tractors to pull mowers?
But one reason that we're running that tractor, if I checked with the other counties, the next tractor the size down is a 4-cylinder engine, and they're having terrible heating problems with them, and they will not pull their rotors. So we stepped up to the 55 so that we would have the 6-cylinder engine, and it's a lot better diesel engine, a 6-cylinder is than a 4, just because of the moving parts and because of the heating issues, and so it'll pull that grid rotor.
Yeah, you need it for the grid rotor, of course, but
So that was the main reason. The Carson County bought some 6145s. I went over there and talked to them about them. They would not buy them again because of the 4-cylinder motor.
Yeah.
And this is the smallest one you can get with the inline six.
yeah, I've got a 4-cylinder and I pull a 15-foot mower, and it does a great job, and it uses considerably less fuel.
Yes.
But I understand your point, but it's really a big tractor for a mower.
Yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot of horsepower.
It's a whole bunch of tractor for what you're pulling.
It's,
Would it be possible to get a quote on a smaller tractor just to look at?
and if you want me to, but this is what we have 5 of these already. So they do the job. They do a perfect job. So
And you have this budgeted? You
yes,
budgeted this
yes,
this year? Okay.
yes.
Any further discussion? Motions?
Well, I think since this was in the plan right now, and we'll look at the budget moving forward with when we do the budget for kind of looking at equipment and stuff, I assume, but since this was the plan, I moved to, what is it? Award the bid? Or is that what we'd say on this one, or is this just?
Well, it's a bylaw, so we
authorize?
didn't really have to go out for bids, just approve
Okay,
it.
I move to approve the purchase of 129, 287.61 for the purchase of the John Deere cab tractor.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion on this? All in favor? Opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Dwayne.
I keep forgetting to look at Gary.
I've been watching him.
Give him
He
the
usually
eyeball.
makes more noise than.
Yeah, he
We
does.
muted him.
You muted him.
I'm sorry, Gary. Okay, item 13 is our update on COVID. So Jerry
He got
is
unmuted.
sick today, but he gave me some information that he wanted to relay. So right now, I just pulled our counts off the state site, and we have 1,080 confirmed cases, 467 probable cases. This was as of yesterday, I believe this information. Our fatalities are at 69, so we're up 1 fatality from the last meeting. Active cases, which is an estimated number, is 41, and you can see that that's coming down. I think the lowest we've been is in the last few weeks was 22, and then it's come up from that, and recovered estimated number of 1,437. So we have done a great job of getting the vaccine out. We held vaccine clinic with Border Pharmacy week before last on Thursday and Friday. Dallam County reached out to us because they're considered a hub, and they reached out to us with about 1,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine that they just gave to us. And so we went over there and picked that up. We had the clinic on Thursday and Friday at the Johnson Park Youth Center, had a tremendous amount of volunteers. It was a great event. I think we had 6 shooters there. So we were able to get people in and out really quickly. And I think we vaccinated about 980 people in those 2 days. So
6 shooters, meaning people who give shots.
Yeah, the shot.
Just want to be clear.
Not snipers. Yeah, shooters. Give them a shot. Yes. So it was and all volunteers. It was just a great effort on everybody's part. So I think Jerry said we have a total of about 4,500 people in the county that have been vaccinated so far. So Walmart has reached out to me a couple of times saying they have the Moderna, and all people have to do is just get online and sign up, and they are looking for people to give the shot to. So if anyone wants a shot, they're down now. I think they've opened it up to all the educators or bus drivers or any of those people. I think we've managed to get most of those people in this vaccine clinic, a vaccine that wanted one. So Walmart has shots available. CVS has shots available, I believe. I don't know how often, but the hospital has had some additional, I think. So we're doing really well from the slow start we got. So I think we're doing really well on getting people vaccinated that want to be vaccinated.
Judge, if I could, I would like to give a big shout out of thanks to New Life Church in Borger. During that vaccination clinic, Jerry contacted us, and we donated our buses and a driver to pick up anyone who needed transportation to that facility. Stinnett didn't have anyone who needed the service, nor did Fritch, but Connie Moore drove, and his church drove for Thursday and Friday and picked up about 11 people and transported them to that vaccination clinic. And so I'd like to say thank you to New Life Church and and their willingness to volunteer their services to
Yes,
get people
that-
vaccinated.
That was amazing. The volunteers with that coordinated event were just amazing.
Yes.
The people in Hutchinson County did a great job.
Yeah, just say
And
thanks
then,
to all
so
the
we had that clinic on Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday, I get a phone call from Joe Minshew, who's our regional or our district, Texas Department of Emergency Management. He's like, hey, we've got a program. The governor has identified 26 counties throughout the state that he wants to like pilot a program where they're going to send the National Guard out and offer the vaccine to homebound. Do you want to be part of that? And I'm like, yes, we do. We'll figure that out. So I make a call to Jerry, and you know, he's super tired, but he stepped right up to the plate and helped me get that organized. They were here Thursday, the National Guard. We were able to give, they brought us 100 doses. We were able to give out about 70, some from that walked into Dwight's church there, celebration. And we did a walk-in, just whoever wanted to walk in and get a shot. And then we went out and vaccinated 21 people in Fritch and Stinnett in their homes. So the National Guard did that. And we were really fortunate to have Susie Graves and Paula Garton that work with Meals on Wheels to go out with the National Guard. So when they went out there, the people kind of saw a familiar face, and because they deliver the Meals on Wheels. So it was just a great event for Hutchinson County. In the Panhandle, Hutchinson and Gray were the counties that the governor identified. So we just felt super lucky to be part of that program. So we are doing a great job getting our people vaccinated. Everybody. Thank you to everyone. I have one thing before we go on to the next item. Well, let me just say, if everyone hasn't heard, that the governor's opened everything up as of Wednesday, 100% open and no mandatory mask mandate. So we're going to encourage people to continue to wear their mask here at the courthouse. But of course, you know, we can't force anyone to wear a mask, but we will encourage people to continue to wear a mask at the courthouse. And I got a letter from, an email from Dr. Holly, who's been instrumental in working with Jerry Langwell and Jason Whistler and Jason Pender to coordinate all of these shots and the vaccinations. He's been invaluable to this whole program. And he sent an email that Jerry Langwell and Jason Whistler have been a huge help and passionate about helping get the vaccine out. And now and during higher peaks of COVID, they did a lot for the overall community response. Lots of compliments from many in the community on it, and they both are well-deserved of credit for all you've done. We are seeing our lowest numbers in months, and they certainly are a big part of that. So thank you, Dr. Holly, for sending that. And as always, thanks to Jerry and Jason Whistler and Jason Pender for all the work they do for everybody. That is a huge coordinated event between all of them, and they have worked hours and hours. So,
and from Precinct 2, the mayor of Fritch sent all of us an email.
Yes,
And
I got that
I just
also.
wanted to tell you, Judge, thank you and Jerry for the work within the county and working with the city of Fritch as well as my precinct to ensure that those who wanted vaccinations can get it. And I thank you for the time and effort. And on behalf of the mayor of Fritch, he wanted for me to pass on to the court, thank you for just making this a priority, and the way you've handled the COVID being uncharted territory. He said he's very proud of the efforts you all have made. So that's from the mayor of Fritch.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anybody else have anything on COVID? I don't have anything else, so we'll skip over 14 because I don't think we need to take any measures.
So 14, I mean, I'm planning on, if it's all right, we're planning on opening the club room.
Okay.
We haven't done that, so we're gonna, I mean, that's good, open back up to the public.
Yeah,
My number was under 100 for a little while, but with the mandate or the openings too, kind of, that time's perfect, so.
Yeah. Are they gonna do that in Fritch too? Dwight, you know, the club
I
room?
feel bad. Explain to me what a club room is.
Okay, it's the room, you know, where the library and the
Oh,
tax
yes,
office is,
yes.
and they have the club room.
Yes.
And so if someone wants to rent that for a baby shower or a birthday party, they'll call you and you'll keep a calendar of that.
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah.
That sounds
Surprise.
beautiful. Yes.
I'll get
Surprise.
with you.
Yeah.
Let's add that to your duties.
When you are saying club room, I'm like,
Well, they actually, do they coordinate that all through the border library? No, no,
so be through me. All right.
okay,
Well,
for the fridge.
okay.
Yeah. So
I'm
that'll be good to have that back open again.
Yes.
So people can utilize that. Okay.
I mean, they'll email you, like, they'll get requests. I'll get with you.
okay.
All right, item 15 is to consider and or approve the burn ban or rescind the burn ban. So Jerry has informed me that our drought index is 397. And he said with the weather we're gonna have this week and the wind, that if we don't get some significant moisture, he will probably come to the court at the next meeting and ask for the burn ban to be put back in place. So we'll just have to see how this week goes.
You got a good weekend for chances around.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get a little moisture this weekend. All right, item 16 is to consider and or approve disposal of obsolete office equipment. I didn't have any requests. I don't believe, let me check. Make sure.
Oh, man, I left my certificate.
Okay,
Always
no.
next time.
17, accept certificates of completion from elected or appointed officials.
Dan Bentley, Commissioner Precinct Number 3, submitted certificate for 6.0 hours of education training during the Panhandle County Judges and Commissioners Conference. The certificate has been made part of these minutes.
All right, item 18, consider under approve request. Well, we're going to open the club room, so I guess I'll skip that one for now. 19, consider and or approve line item changes, transfers, and or budget amendments. What's it say? I can't read it. What's that say, Chris?
It's through Delana, then to her, and then she sent it to Dwight. That's what I was going to tell him after the meeting.
Oh,
How it's just how it works.
okay.
They always contact the
on
library.
renting the club rooms. Okay, all right.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
I'll stick with it.
All right, item 20 is to consider and or approve advertising, opening, accepting, or awarding bids. Nothing. 21 is to consider and or approve donations to Hutchinson County. Anybody, Sheriff, got anything?
We start panning the audience. Who wants to donate?
Anybody
Anybody want? This is my specialty. We'll pass up an offering.
Oh, I wish that was the way it works.
Yes. I'll bring
22,
buckets.
accept reports from elected or appointed officials as required by statute.
February 2021 reports were submitted by Jan Barnes, County Clerk, Judge Ford, Justice of the Peace Precinct Number 1, Judge Rodriguez, Justice of the Peace Precinct Number 2, and Airport. January 2021 report was submitted by the library. Edie Bradford of the Extension Agent submitted December 2020 and January 2021 reports. Christy Slow, Extension Agent, submitted September 2020, October 2020, November 2020, December 2020, and January 2021 reports. Dwayne Chisholm, Road Superintendent, submitted written report February 22nd through March 7th of 2021. All the reports are made part of the minutes.
Thank you. And 23, discussion of county judges and commissioners precinct daily operations.
One thing I'd like to discuss is, I was talking to Mark Deal about our insurances that we renew in Portland. And we have an equipment list with the values on equipment, and it may or may not have been updated in a while. And so the values on the equipment also helps determine the premium. So we need to update that. I talked to Dwayne and he's going to help. And
So Dwayne, do you know how long it's been since we updated any of that?
It's been a while since the insurance company actually made some changes.
Okay,
We've made some changes to it, but when we get back to next year, they don't reflect that change.
they don't update it. So how do we get them to update it, Mark?
Well, I have to send this report back at the end of the month. And the amounts are changed. They're supposed to change the amounts to what we say.
Okay,
So I just have to follow through and see if they did it.
okay, all right,
So,
And as far as the buildings, they hadn't been appraised, but
right.
tax in 5, 6, 7 years.
So do you think we need to get TAC back out here to reappraise the buildings?
That's up to the court.
We talked about that 6 months ago.
I don't know if the buildings have really changed that much.
We decided to have them out here. Like 6 months ago, we decided.
Okay,
Well, maybe a year ago. It was before COVID. We decided as a court to have them come and appraise
To have a look at what.
all the buildings because it's been like 6 years.
you
we
talking
just-
about just the buildings or everything?
on the
Just
building
the
aspect,
buildings.
when the buildings came back up about a year ago, we
Yeah.
decided to have them inspect the buildings.
I'll have to check with them and see when they can do that to you.
so you'll check with them? Okay, good.
If they do the buildings, Dwayne and I can, I think, get the equipment real
Yeah,
close.
that'd be good.
But, and then something else Dwayne brought up, which is something we might need to think about is like on full coverage, some of this equipment's out on fires, it's not covered for full coverage. Like on some of this newer equipment, the motor graders, even the trucks, it's only got liability. So, that's saving some premium, but is that risk worth it? We probably need to give it a little thought.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
But like these machines go out on fires and stuff, it's possible to lose one, so you need to know that. So, or you could have a wreck, or anything can happen. So we probably need to think about it.
you and Dwayne gonna get together and work on that?
Yeah, we worked on it, and we
Come up with some,
certainly not all the equipment needs to be fully insured, but some of the high risk stuff very well may be.
right,
Do you agree, Dwayne?
Yes, sir.
and that report has to be in when?
Well, he needs this list, like you say, 25th.
It's the end of the month.
Yeah, we had to have the report back by the end of this month,
Okay,
but we can change the amounts
Any-
later if we need to.
okay,
And I'll send you an email because I was pretty sure I got with TAC and they said that they were supposed to do it this spring. And I thought they said they got with you.
they may just have started to travel
Right.
again. Cause they hadn't let them travel at
Right.
all. So,
Yeah, they said they'd be up in the panel at some point, but I got that email a while ago.
okay.
I'll try to find it on the building part of it.
Mhm. Anything else on that precinct daily operations? I think I got an email. Kathy, did you get that email too, that we will receive the safety award again?
I did.
So we did qualify for the safety award. Thank you to Kathy for sending all that information in. And so I think we just have to get with them and they're either gonna bring it to us or, because the risk management conference is virtual this year, so they will virtually present the award to us. Which is awesome. It's great.
And then we got, we had some discussion with Kathy Davenport on health insurance.
Right.
Cindy and I both did, and
We got some preliminary numbers.
yeah, our numbers are down a little bit. We're at 93% on our loss ratio, whereas this time last year we were at 110%.
Mhm.
But
But that doesn't really mean anything until we get the final numbers. It looks better than it did last
Say
year.
it's promising though.
Yes, definitely. So, and hopefully they'll travel and she can come out.
they kind of act like they might here in the next month or so.
Mhm. I think since the governor made his announcement, that may change a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to stay open. So anything else on 23? Nope. Okay. Item, I got your report and I'll submit that,
My report.
your
Oh, yes.
daily operations. I'll give that, I forgot to give that to you, but there, you can add that to the reports too. Item 24 is to consider and approve sale of struck off tax properties or tax deeds. So we have, Chris, I emailed you this, correct?
At Brain,
Yeah,
325.
325 Brain Street.
Yes, ma'am.
$60
Jerry
bid by
second.
Ronald Jenkins from National City, California. It's TCG one. Is it's just an empty lot?
Yeah, and they took those trees. It's pretty close, like to the picture.
Yeah.
So what the,
A small lot.
I
it
don't know
looks
if you're
like.
gonna read the offer and all that.
Yeah, $60 bid by Ronald Jenkins.
Oh, I didn't hear you, sorry.
Yeah.
I was showing him. Yeah, it's just an empty lot between two homes, north of 3rd Street on Brain. It's a dirt road right there, so I make a motion that we approve the offer.
A second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
I get ahead.
Jumping down.
Okay, and the next property is 1022 Mackenzie Avenue in Stinnett, submitting an offer of $200 has been made by Brad Hickman and Letha Hickman. Taxes have not been paid since 1994. This was struck off in March of 2000, and the appraisal is $1,800.
This lot has a drainage ditch going right through the middle of it. And it's really not buildable for building. It's just, I think he owns the lot next door, which would be helpful, but it's not a very big lot. And I'd make a motion, we accept the offer of $200 for this lot on 1022 Mackenzie.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? And those are the only two tax properties we have. Do y'all have anything else?
That's all in there.
Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, I'm not seeing anything.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, so the process is they contact.
I kept calling it the community